Alright, Jonathan, my turn to ask you a hypothetical question. In the last episode, I gave you the disaster scenario of none of the kit arriving and you having to wear identical kits. I like to give you a bigger disaster scenario. It's the night before the game, and all 4 of the netminders for both the home and the away team decide to meet up and have a drink, and then they all proceed to get locked in the bar. And so there are no netminders available for the coming hockey game that you have to play. The hypothetical is, if, and a referee wouldn't allow it, you have to play with a goalie. But imagine the referee is also been drinking. Yes, you must forfeit a game if you don't have a netminder. You can ask anybody in the crowd to be a netminder.
Oh, there's a future hypothetical.
Yeah, you can ask anybody to be in the crowd.
Who are you picking?
But you must ice you must declare and ice a netminder, otherwise you must not play a game. So my hypothetical is: what if that rule didn't exist and you played hockey without netminders?
So both teams have no netminders.
Both teams have no netminders.
Okay, because you don't have to play your netminder. If one's dressed and on the bench. Yeah. You could choose to sort of pull your netminder permanently and go with 6
Well, let's say that. Let's say that the 2 teams have decided to go all out.
The person we've picked from the stands is so rubbish, no one's better than you.
Yeah.
And we're going with 6 skaters against 6 skaters.
Yeah. What does that game look like? How does it end?
I feel my initial instinct is we leave one player back, like a goalie wag, to sort of stand top of the crease as a skater, just as the thinnest dotted line of a back line ever. Yeah. So that if you give the puck away, it's not an automatic goal from the red line.
Yeah.
You've got to at least skate in and put an effort. It wouldn't be a goal every time. So you're still essentially playing 5-on-5 at centre ice.
Yeah, okay.
But there's at least something to stop a guaranteed goal every breakaway. Because, a slap shot, it might hit you on the legs. You might, knowing there's someone in the way, you might put it wide. Or it just adds that extra element of difficulty. If there was nobody in front of the net, you're going to be scoring a goal every minute.
I disagree.
You think it'd be harder to score without a netminder at each end than a goal every minute?
Yeah.
So I'm talking like a 15-all game.
Yeah, see,
if not more.
I was going to say it'd be a lot more than that to be.
Well, would it? Because you could.
You'd have a 30-goal game. In the 60 minutes you've got to play.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, of course.
Here's what I'm thinking. I think initially it would be a goal rush, and then a team would take the lead, the 3 or 4 goal lead, and then they would realise that we can't give possession away because they will score, like in basketball. And there's no such thing as a shot clock. So the reason why there's a shot clock in basketball is to stop teams just keeping a hold of the ball. Yeah,
you've got to take it out of your own half within a certain time frame.
Got to take it out.
Then you've got to shoot it.
And then you've got to shoot it. And that's to stop the play getting real slow. Because basketball doesn't have netminders. In fact, goaltending is a foul. I think initially you'd have a rush of goals, a team would take the lead, and then without the pressure of the shot clock, without the pressure of having to leave your own half, you would take the puck and you would just sit on it as long as you could until the opposition had to come and chase you. And then you'd pass it out. And then you'd bring it back again. And pass it out and bring it back again. I actually think eventually a team would build up such a lead that the game would slow down because they know they don't need to score any more goals, so why risk it? And then the opposition would have to go chasing the puck. It's very hard to chase the puck. It's very easy to keep away, especially when you've got 6 skaters.
No, it's harder because there are 6 skaters to take it off you.
Have you got an extra option to pass to?
I think that the space is crowded. Your ability to skate the puck is reduced because
passing
there's
now, I think
fewer lanes available.
I think it would really slow down. Honestly, I think after maybe...
It would slow down a bit, but I don't think it would slow down that much.
I think after 10 or 15 minutes, after a bit of a goal frenzy where everybody goes just, shoot on sight, they would realise actually possession is the most important part of the game, and we're not penalised for having possession. So you build up a 3 or 4 goal lead, it's then a game of keep away. It becomes a really bad game of basketball.
But how well can you keep away? Because it's just going to become a board battle. Once you've lost it, that's a disaster. I don't think it's going to be that easy to sit on a lead. You haven't got a goalie in.
Yeah, that's true.
It's, a 2-0 lead is dangerous in hockey, apparently. So, how dangerous is that lead when you haven't got a goalie in and there's still half an hour to play?
There's a hypothetical. What's more dangerous than a 2-goal lead?
Well, 1-goal lead. That one's answered straight away. No, I imagine the situation then that we've got the puck behind our own goal.
Yeah.
And they're lining up with the 1-3-1-1.
Yeah.
So the shooting from our own end isn't going to work.
No.
It's not going to get over the players at centre ice, and the player that's stationed at the top of the crease is going to be able to read it and block it however he needs to.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to have to work the puck up the ice. Mm-hmm. Realistically, we need to get beyond the red line, and then we can just take a wrist shot, a snapshot, and if we've got room for a slap shot, take that. Mm. A good slap shot still is going to be a player in goal.
What about 2 players?
You think about 2 players top of the crease?
Possibly.
Play short-handed.
Maybe. See,
no,
I think you collapse defensively. I think you collapse the moment the opposition.
You can't give them a chance to set up in the zone. Surely you can't win the game without the puck. You have to have possession in this game. Surely. So if you got a 4-check high, I would love for you as the opposition team to collapse back into your own zone and let 6 of us or 5 of us just skate forward, and then power play it. Well, not power play, so it'll still be 5-on-5.
But I've only got to steal it once, and there's no netminder.
True, but I can't believe in this game it's an advantage to be without the puck.
True, and I did say I think it's all about possession. But I think what would happen is once you had that lead, that 3 or 4 goal lead, the need to score goes down, right? And that's when you realise that
there's still a need to score because you know that. Let's say that then the score is after the first period. Let's say you're 10-6 up.
Yeah.
So you got a 4-goal lead. That 4-goal lead isn't going to hold when you know that I can score 6 goals a period.
And here's the one thing I've got wrong. I can tell you why my theory isn't working anymore. So 10-4 is fine because it bases it on the assumption, well, if they score, we'll just reply like they do in basketball. But it implies you're going to get the puck back after you score. But obviously in hockey, it's a neutral zone face-off. It's not a tip-off.
Yeah.
It's not a from your own backboards. Actually, maybe it would be a goal fest because you'd have to win the puck back. So if you're 10-4 down, don't worry, we just need to win 4 face-offs.
I mean, you could shoot from the face-off in the opposition zone.
Easily.
That becomes an option.
Yeah. Just get players lying down in the
But also, any face-off you win is just ripe for a one-timer.
Yeah.
Because if he gets through to the net, it might get blocked. It's not being controlled. There's no rebound control coming from a defenseman who stood in the crease.
Yeah.
You can get in the way of it, maybe, but it's going to hit you and it's going to drop anywhere.
Face-offs become king, don't they? They just become... they're pretty important anyway in the current game, but they become the stat, whoever wins you the face-offs, you just have them on the ice all the time because that gets you the puck back. It just becomes the thing to be good at in that game. So
what type of players do you want to send out onto the ice? You want the possession guys, don't you?
Yeah, but also going back to an earlier podcast when we talked about big lads, I think I do want a body. Somebody who can fill the net a bit, just by being in its general vicinity. Do you see what I mean?
But is the size difference of the legs of Zdeno Chara that much more than the legs of your Johnny Random defenseman?
It's about wingspan though, because you can use any part of your body to make a save.
So we're putting this defenseman down into the butterfly.
No, we're putting him down onto his knee. Do you know what I mean? I think you'd
like a shot blocker, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's what you'd have to do, so they could see the puck all the way and see if they can make the save. So I think you are looking for somebody bigger then. And again, I don't think there'd be as much shooting as you think. I think it'd be a lot of tap-ins. A lot of players putting on the jets, going past players, and just poking it in. Because there's nothing to stop them, and it's a guaranteed goal. You shoot from the blue line, you might miss. And then the other team gets the... it's like a three-pointer. You shoot a three-pointer, it might come off the rim, and then it's not your ball anymore.
So, modern basketball is moving towards... Actually, we're quite good at three-pointers.
Yeah, because...
If we played no-goalie hockey for 50 years, would we actually... Players developing... Actually, my shooting from my own red line is excellent.
Yeah. Yeah,
and that becomes the tactic in the early days of let's run a set play, and get under the basket, and
get the 2 points,
just do a layup.
But then, people like Steph Curry exist who can just shoot 3 points up front, and then you'd get a player who could just shoot from the red line and always hit it.
You don't want to shoot from inside your own red line then, because if you miss, the danger of icing is too much.
Yeah, so it's just beyond.
Face off in your own end with no goalie is really bad news.
It's an Eiserman, isn't it? Just past the red line, bang.
Yeah, no defenseman stopping that.
Yeah, exactly. No netminder was stopping it either.
Yeah.
I think that's probably what it turns into. And then I think it's also a horrible sport to watch because the crowd lose their moment. What moment do we cheer? We don't.
Same as basketball.
Yeah, exactly. And I always think basketball has that. But in basketball, you cheer the frees because they're important.
Unless goals from your own red line count as 2.
Are we basically just making ice skate ball?
Yeah, you don't have to bounce the puck though. So that's it for another episode of Hockey Hypothetical. If you've got any thoughts on the things we've said today, or any ideas for new hypothetical situations you'd like us to discuss, leave us a comment or hit us up on social media. On behalf of Stephen Dowson, I'm Jonathan Fernley, saying goodbye.